Dogmen in Michigan that hunt people in the forests. Demons from Dover or from the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Is it really hard for us to believe that Bigfoot doesn't roam this country? These topics and more, only on Cryptid Conversations.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. As I just said, to Cryptid Conversations here in the Legends
Don't forget
Cave.
to say welcome.
With me today, welcome again, 935 billion times.
937.
Hang on, I am having internet issues here.
Do you want me to introduce everybody? Hi, that's Blue. That's Jasper.
Okay,
Hello.
I'm back. Sorry, my wife. I decided to connect to a different router. I don't know why. Anyway, welcome back to Cryptid Conversations. We took a week off. You had to deal with me airing my grievances with the cryptid community last week. This week, we're back to business as usual. As you can see, there's only 3 of us this week. Torsten has elected to be in the comment section. It's his prerogative. I'm gonna let him do it. Unfortunately, I miss him. I know Jasper misses him. I know Michelle misses him. So
a little bit. 65%. I miss him 100% of the time.
He's one of my best buds, and I love him. And you know what? I miss the man. So anyway, getting down to brass tacks. Today's episode: our favorite cryptid creatures. Why they are our favorite cryptid creatures, whether or not we believe they exist, and our own personal take on what these cryptid creatures could be. Now, starting off, we're going to have Jasper go ahead.
I feel like it should be a soft J, like Jasper.
Jasper. Jasper.
You're welcome.
Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite cryptid.
I'm just here for the commentary.
Go
Jasper,
for it, Jasper.
My favorite cryptid is the Loveland Frog.
Always.
I'm going to read you a story about the Loveland Frog. The Loveland Frogman has always felt more frog than man. The few times he has tried to make his presence known to the larger suburban Cincinnati community, it has ended with fear and apprehension. When he first attempted to make contact with humanity in 1955, late at night along the Branch Hill Bridge over the Little Miami River, a businessman passing by mistook him for a monstrosity and almost ran his car off the bridge from fright. Frogman, not wanting to scare the humans, jumped off the bridge and hid in the river. Luckily, frogs are amphibious and can survive long spells underwater. The second time Frogman tried to reach out to humans was in 1972 after long loneliness and a rare public sightings. A Loveland police officer mistook him for a freak or a monster and ran away screaming, though he later told his friends that he scared off the monster. Frogman knew the truth. Frogman tended to avoid humans after that.
I'd avoid humans too.
I mean, let's be honest, we already do avoid humans.
Listen, there's a reason why there's a reason why the cave is below ground, under my house. Nobody comes in here except for me. I avoid human people. So let's go. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. He hid out in the woods and wilderness south of Loveland, near where the Boy Scouts had established a summer camp. There he could pilfer the odd snack from the dining hall, listen to the songs sung around the campfire, swim in Lake March Scott, or leisurely float down the Little Miami River. Until one night in 2020, when strange lights dotted the sky above the camp, and a metal disc made its way down to the lake. It bore others similar to him, though they were not frogs, but they were small and green. They took him up in their saucer, and the frogman hoped he could find a new home amongst the visitors.
You okay there?
Frogman lived among the visitors for years with their advanced technology They did not exhibit the same virtues he saw among the campers of Friedlander, their trustworthiness, loyalty, friendliness, and bravery. And he missed the biscuits and gravy from the dining hall.
Who wouldn't miss biscuits and gravy?
I know, right? Biscuits and gravy is delicious.
Now I want biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy made me a man.
No, I think something else made you a man, sir.
It's true. It's true. Her name was
With the
Oprah.
With the blessing of the alien visitors, Frogman borrowed a flying saucer. He was a little nervous. He never got his flying saucer license, but he set off to return to the familiar confines of Camp Friedlander. His inexperience led him to crash down in a copse of trees near the camp in 2024. Feeling guilty for wrecking a perfectly good flying saucer, Frogman hopes to now learn from scouts skills he can use to repair the craft and return it to its rightful owners.
Man, don't wreck someone else's flying saucer. That's just not cool.
Seriously.
Now, I do feel I do feel a connection to the Loveland Frog, as when I was younger, I was quite the lonely little girl because I was bullied a lot, so I didn't have very many friends. And so I understand the loneliness and like still wanting to try and connect with people, but the struggle. And then
absolutely.
Hey, we love you.
I know, I found my people.
You know what? And you know what? To be all inclusive, I'm going to make sure I do this. Kim, Joseph, obviously, Thorson's down there, Rob Wood. Kate, thank you all for showing up. I appreciate you all.
And the reason
I appreciate Jasper too.
I have big feels. I have big feels right now.
Big feels.
I'm also sick and on drugs, but yeah.
The reason the Frogman is my favorite is because the Frogman's my favorite because just the pure idea of them running on the ground with like the little frog feet, I feel like it'd make a really satisfying flapping sound every time it set foot, you know?
Oh, just like a dude walking around with like the little flipper things for swimming.
Yeah, like, just making that little flap, 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 flap noise.
I do love the flap. I do love the flappies, flappy flaps.
I think that would be funny as hell. I mean, honestly, if I saw a giant anthropomorphic frog running around, I think I would be like so interested and try to figure out what it is and be like, "Excuse me, can I do you understand English?"
So I do want to call out a few things here in this. So
hi, Venus, welcome in.
The Loveland Frog has been depicted in TVs and movies and things. James Renner's science fiction mystery novel, The Man from Primrose Lane, features a version of the Loveland Frog. May 2014, the Loveland Frog was made a musical called Hot Damn, It's the Loveland Frog.
Okay, now I need to see this musical.
Yeah, and it debuted in the 2014 Cincinnati Fringe Festival. In 2024, recently, a horror found footage film directed by Anthony Cousins called Frogman was loosely based on the Loveland Frog.
See, now that to me is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, because like think about it, you had that big movie way back in the day, the Monster of Boggy Creek.
I'm literally just listening to a podcast about that this morning.
Right.
The Graveyard Tales was talking about the Falcon Monster.
One of the best podcasts out there that isn't ours.
Absolutely. And their hosts are kind of cute too. Just FYI.
No comment.
I am who I am. I'm a girl.
Listen, I know I'm getting old. I know I'm getting fugly. It's okay.
I'm older than you, sir.
I don't know about you, but older men are kind of peak.
I got the.
She does got that. She does got that. I don't know. I kind of like the young guys. I need like a 10, 12 year below me.
No. Okay, back on track. But like the Boggy Creek monster, the creature of Boggy Creek, or whatever the movie was, that was you know, uh, that was a big deal in theaters when it came out. And then you had the Return to Boggy Creek monster.
Return to Boggy Creek, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Return to Boggy Creek. This Loveland Frog thing, I've never heard of it.
You probably have in passing, but it.
Well, no, I've heard of the creature.
Like cryptid, like cryptid mythology is. It's not one of the. It's not one of the sexy ones.
Yeah, it's not one of the big standouts.
It's not, the ones that we all talk about. It's not Mothman.
Plus, it's Ohio. Nothing happens in Ohio.
Middle Earth, man. Middle Earth.
Exactly. The only thing Ohio's got going for it is Cleveland.
Anyway, Jasper, that was an awesome favorite cryptid. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Okay, now Jasper, I have to ask you: do you believe that it exists?
I believe there's a possibility that it exists because there are theories that it could be either properly a frogman or possibly even a chameleon based off of like their pictures. I obviously animated pictures that aren't like pictures, but if it is like part chameleon as well as part frog, then it could easily blend in, and that would explain why people haven't seen it.
That would explain it. To answer Kate's question, it's down here in the comment. You're all confusing me. What happened to talking about creepy things from Navajo area? That's going to be next week because there's so much.
We did different things.
Yeah, we decided we changed it up for this week. We're doing our favorite cryptids, and then next week we're gonna switch over to the big creepy monster men from the Navajo Nation.
Oh, I know some big creepy monster men. They're not Navajo.
You're talking to one. Anyway.
Whatever.
Anyway. Okay. Now, Michelle.
I decided to not listen to you when you said what to do, right?
Yeah, you usually do.
Yeah. So I'm not going to talk about my favorite cryptid. I'm going to talk about my favorite cryptid that is new to me, something that I have newly discovered.
Okay.
So
what do we got?
I love what is it called? The YouTube roulette where you just keep going like, oh, what's next? Ooh, recommended. Okay. So that got me down this path of, have you ever heard of the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter or the Hopkinsville Goblin case of 55?
Does not ring a bell.
Neither had I. But when you go down that wormhole like starts out right here and then it goes bam. So let me just give you an overview.
Joseph, absolutely, it does include Blue. That wants bears.
Bears?
I want a house bear.
Oh, you're not going to get a house bear. Your wife is not going to let you have a house bear. I'm going to get a house red panda before you get a house bear.
I am allowed to have a house raccoon.
Well, you are a trash panda, sir.
Listen, I am the king of the trash pandas.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you about the Hopkinsville incident. It happened on August 21st, 1955. 5 adults and 7 children were in a small house in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and they called the police because they said that a small spaceship had landed and small alien creatures were attacking their farmhouse. Had been holding them in their home for nearly 4 hours. The 2 adults, Elmer Sutton and Billy Ray Taylor, best Kentucky name ever, claimed that they had been shooting into the dark and a few dark figures popped up around the doorway, and they could kind of give a description of these short little, almost like you would think of a gray, but it had big ears, like 3 foot or less. So that led me down this whole, I'm not going to call it a dark path because it was ridiculously fun, around that whole area in Kelly Hopkinsville area of Kentucky. There is another town there that is, area of high strange is the best way to put it. There's a documentary that came out it's the an episodic documentary. I don't know what they're
Okay.
called. So season 1 of this episodic documentary had 5 episodes. It came out in 2019. It's called Hellier. TV
Okay.
series directed by Carl Pfeiffer, and Greg Newkirk and Dana Newkirk go and research some of this stuff that happened in Hopkinsville, Kelly, Hellier, Kentucky, and they are finding some crazy shit. Like insane. So there's the little Hopkinsville goblins is what people have started calling them instead of aliens. Because now they're tracing them back. Maybe it wasn't a spaceship. Maybe they live in the caves. There is the largest cave system in the United States, basically runs rampant underneath, the large mountain areas. So what if all of those cave systems were hooked together? And what if some race of human, mammal, Neanderthal, something managed to live down there and is now terrorizing the people of Kentucky? So yeah, but anyway, there's season 2 came out in 2022, and season 3 is in the works. I highly recommend season 1. It is, like I said, available on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
But it's ridiculous. Like, just, I can't believe there was a cryptid out there that I missed, but there is a ton of stuff that is saying that it's possibly a psychotic break. But how can you explain a psychotic break that's seen by multiple people at the same time?
Mass psychosis.
Mass psychosis. Yeah, it could be, but
But those are very, very rare.
Right. And in the 50s, before all this like super crazy cryptid stuff came out, like the fact that it was 1955 at a farmhouse in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. 1955, still using lead paint.
Yeah.
We survived it.
Yeah.
But, they didn't know how much lead to put in paint. So, I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
It was all trial and error back then.
Right.
Could be a mass psychosis caused by lead in paint.
Yeah.
Who really knows?
There's a French ufologist, Renaud Lechelet. I'm going to pronounce that like I do.
Okay.
He had a suspicion that these folks had not seen an alien, but they had seen abnormally large great horned owls. I don't know how I feel about that, but
you're not going to see a great horned owl unless it wants you to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the gentleman who happened to walk outside to put out his garbage one morning, and a great horned owl came down and just landed on his shoulder like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
So and he was just like,
the other kind of like weird one is a couple days later, the Air Force showed up quietly, did some stuff in the woods, and then left.
Well, Kate, you're one of the lucky ones. You got to see a great horned owl.
I never saw a great horned owl. I've seen
I've seen a barn owl.
I have seen a barn
I've
owl.
never seen an owl.
Barn owls are cool. I like those little guys.
So I kind of like the idea of tying everything back to pop culture, because this is kind of what we do. So in the 70s, Spielberg used this event to base his unproduced science fiction horror film called Night Skies is based on this. 1986 comedy horror Critters is also based on this event.
That is a cult classic.
So the third generation, you're going to know this one, I'm not. The third generation Pokemon, Sableye is believed to be inspired by the alleged goblins.
It's one of my least favorite Pokemon.
I hate that Pokemon.
the event was the basis for a musical, another musical. It came from Kentucky. And
Whiskey.
yeah. And in February
That's what came from
2020,
Kentucky.
the TV show Project Blue Book did an episode on this.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
I was too young at that time. I didn't really know about cryptid creatures at that point.
what year?
You said 1985?
86 was Critters.
Oh, what was the year of that it was on Project Blue Book?
February 2020. You were not too young.
Oh, 2020? I just
5 years ago.
listen, I was going through my entire Netflix queue in 2020.
Yep. And there is an interview with Joe Nickel on the Monster Talk podcast, episode 137, part 2.
Lovely.
Yeah. So there's more about this. I could dig in for another 2 hours on the stuff that I found, but
Well,
it's an interesting cryptid that I'd never heard of, and I thought it was cool.
Okay. Well, granted, it's an interesting cryptid, and you thought it was cool. We will cover that in another episode.
Yeah.
We'll do Midwest cryptids.
Do I think this thing is an actual
Thing?
cryptid? Yes. I think something exists that is causing these things, but do I know what it is now? So, cryptid.
No worries, Kate. Kate's got to dip out.
Bye, Kate.
Her Wi-Fi's acting up again. Okay. Good to know. Okay, so you believe that there's something there?
I believe that there wouldn't be this many sightings over this large swath of time. We're talking about 1955 to current. So people are still saying that they're seeing three-footed, what are those, three-toed tracks?
Three-toed tracks.
In the woods. People are still seeing these little red-eyed little grays out there.
Well, I mean, there's some... I want to say there's a little bit of traction when it comes to the theory of an owl. Because of the fact that when you look at an owl with night vision, the flare in their eyes is red.
Correct, but this is 1955. These people weren't wearing night vision goggles or have access to a night vision camera. This is also a very, very poor community in Kentucky.
Well, maybe they just wanted the publicity.
And the odds of finding owl footprints are pretty low, considering the ground is one of the worst places for an owl to be, unless it's a ground owl.
Yeah, but they showed they have pictures of the three-toed prints, and with what banana for size, basically. They're about the size of an adult hand.
Okay. Well,
So
I mean,
they're not small.
It could be anything. We don't know.
It could be a red panda that has been I want a red panda so bad.
They're so cute.
Those were cryptid creatures until people found them again.
I want one.
Just remember that. So was the giant panda. Anyway.
I want a red panda.
No, you can't have one. If I can't have a bear, you can't have a panda.
He said yes. I can have a red panda.
Damn it.
Uh-huh.
All right. So,
what's yours?
Great find, number one. I think that's an amazing find. Number two, great discussion on that one. Okay. Now, we come to my favorite cryptid creature. And as you can see on my shirt, I have plenty of them.
We all know what your favorite cryptid is. We don't even need you to
Go
say
ahead.
it out loud.
Go ahead.
You love Bigfoot.
While I do love Bigfoot, he is not my absolute favorite.
Is it Mothman?
You would be correct. Because
So
notice
Mothman
who's in,
ties
notice
into
who's in
the
our
elder.
logo. Who is in our logo?
I'm just Mothman.
The Mothman.
ties into the Hellier documentary. You have to go watch this.
The Mothman is absolutely my favorite cryptid creature of all time because there's so little known about him.
So, are we going to talk about the 66 Mothman? Or are we going to talk about Indrid Cole, John Keel's book from 75, The Mothman Prophecies? What are we talking here?
We're talking the Mothman that was seen right before the bridge collapse.
November 66. I'm a nerd. When did I become this nerd?
You've always been this nerd.
Mm.
It's part of why I like you.
Okay. So, November 1966 sightings that predominantly were shortly before the bridge collapse.
Shortly before the bridge collapse. There were also a couple of sightings before a little while before the bridge collapse, where the Mothman evidently chased a couple of cars, landed on the top of them.
Yep.
Causing unidentifiable scratches on the tops of cars, on the backs of cars, on the sides of cars. And the fact that nobody has really seen it since, but you only see it. It only comes about roughly about every 7 to 10 years. And it's usually right before something major happens.
Which is why he's been referred to as the harbinger of disaster.
Exactly.
Okay.
And do I think he exists? Absolutely, I do.
Now, when was the most recent sighting of Mothman?
2 seconds. Keep talking.
Michelle, go ahead. I don't remember when the most recent sighting was.
June 2022.
2022. Okay.
Makes me wonder what he was warning about now.
So, FYI, there was another Baltimore bridge collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't 2022, though. It was a little bit later.
Wasn't there that big
Rockford Canal? It was seen near the Rockford Canal.
Rockford Canal?
All right, hold please.
Okay.
I'm
But
doing some sleuthing.
But yeah, no, he just captures my imagination because I can just picture this big moth-winged weird creature with big red eyes and talons for feet and everything like that. I could just picture that thing coming out of the sky in the middle of a dark, creepy night with it's a new moon. There's no light. And it just freaking the fuck out of people. I just love it. I think it's so awesome.
Would you pet Mothman?
Yes.
Fuck no.
Yes.
No. Because
totally
some of the
Mothman.
some of the first sightings of the Mothman were in a mine.
So he's a little dusty.
No, yeah, but they were blasting in a mine. You would adopt anything. Anyway.
Not true. I have standards.
Very, very true.
I mean, not Nessie, but
listen, if a baby Nessie ended up on your doorstep after a storm, you would pick it up and put it in your bathtub.
I would, but I wouldn't make out with it.
You'd still love it.
I'd cuddle it though.
You'd cuddle it, give it kisses, loves.
Like the same thing I do with my
that
cat.
Counts.
It would be my 5th cat. So
cat. It'd be your water kitty. But anyway, I just think the Mothman is so cool because there's so much lore, so much weird stuff about him that I don't think we'll ever truly know what the Mothman is. So he might end up being one of the biggest hidden secrets that'll never be solved. Torsten says you can't have an essay at home.
Torsten, go on. This is mine. Mine.
But
Uh,
anyway, let's ask the viewers. We got 4 people watching right now,
4. Hi, guys.
according to the thing. Tell us some of your favorite cryptids. We'll discuss some of those. But when it comes down to it, for me, I am a lover of all cryptid creatures. I think cryptid creatures are so fucking cool. And I just think that they get a bad rap from mainstream science, because mainstream science usually is, I want the body, I want to dissect it, study it, figure out what it is on my own. And I hate that. But yet these are also the same people who think that,
these are the people that tried to kill E.T.
But these are also the same people that think that a quadrupedal ape that could walk on 2 legs, like modern day apes, migrated across a Bering Sea land bridge when it was living in a tropical climate. Why would it move north into colder climates to cross a Bering Sea land bridge? Not gonna happen.
So,
I'm sorry. The Gigantopithecus theory sucks.
You're Gigantopithecus. So I want to delve into Mothman a tiny, tiny little bit here.
Joseph, I know you're Sasquatch Nation, brother. Thank you.
We do love the Sasquatch. He is my favorite.
Sasquatch is pretty dope, though.
Yeah, little sass. I like to call him sassy.
I mean, he's like the poster child. Him and Nessie are the 2 poster children for most of cryptid society. So
I want to bring in Indrid Cold. So Indrid Cold, also known as the Grinning Man or the Smiling Man, so linked to Mothman through John Keel's 1970 book, was also supposed to be seen Elizabeth, New Jersey, October 1966. Strangest guy we ever saw. Very tall man in reflective green coverall, standing behind a wire fence. Indrid Cold has been linked to multiple cryptid sightings, including Mothman and the Kentucky Goblin. So I find that link like
that's a very
it's an interesting concept that this Indrid Cold, also cryptid thing, the Smiling Man, has been cited and linked to not 1, not 2, but I think 3 different cryptid sightings. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, that particular human being, okay, if he is indeed human, because they say his grin is way too big for even his face.
Yes.
Could be classified as a cryptid himself.
He could. Like, he's been classified as a possible alien species. Because, again, John Keel's book took a lot of, what's the word when you take a lot of, he didn't stick to an actual story. He did add a little bit of poetic license into the story that he was writing. I mean, he was writing a book. So yeah. But the way that it was, excuse me, the way that it was described in the book was he was a cast-off alien Kind of like the Loveland Frog. He was kind of separated out from his family and friends and was sent here to do a thing, and he'd been here for so long he doesn't know how to get back. So he had kind of like bonded with the other cryptids that he could see. Maybe they're on a different plane. Maybe they're in a different portal.
Maybe he's part of the aliens that are under the ocean.
Okay.
You mean the Atlanteans or what do you call them? Crap, can't think of it now.
Aliens underwater. Ooh, that was a good movie. The movie Abyss.
Oh, the Abyss. That was a good
Yeah.
one. You know what else was a good one? A good one with like aliens under the water. The one with the pods and the old people.
Cocoon.
Cocoon. That one.
Cocoon. What was that dude's
Cocoon.
name? Gutenberg.
Gutenberg. Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie.
So the funny thing about Cocoon was Wilford Brimley, when he made Cocoon
Mm-hmm.
in 1985, Wilford Brimley was like my age.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley, though. What a
Fucking
hell of an
Wilford
actor.
Brimley. I love Wilford Brimley. By the
I
way,
got the diabetes.
R.I.P. August 1st, 2020.
Oh, that's sad.
And Don Amici.
Oh, Don Amici was the best.
Don Amici. He's definitely one of the best ones.
Don Amici
Anyway,
in Trading Places.
Wait a minute. We're getting off.
Have you met us?
Getting off topic again.
Wait, Don Amici was in Harry and the
Derek
Hendersons, which
Frank
leads us
says,
back to Bigfoot, which leads us back to cryptids.
Derek Frank says, at least as long as we're not talking about Chunkhulu, he means Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, yeah.
We all know Cthulhu.
Cthulhu is more of a Lovecraftian thing. I'm not big on the Lovecraftian monsters.
Not my favorite genre.
Mm-mm. I mean, I do like that his drawings inspired, never mind. I'm on something else. I'm on Escher. Alien.
But anyway, dude, if you don't just call me Dizzy, we're gonna have issues. Well, Diz, change your damn name on here. I don't remember.
Dizzy. Hi, Diz.
Anyway.
Anyway, back to
our favorite cryptids. Diz, what's one of your favorite cryptids, man? Let's have this discussion.
I'm ready.
Wow, she gets a highest, sweetheart. What am I, chopped liver?
Because I'm the best.
Are you sure Diz didn't call you Sweetheart Blue?
No, it was me.
It was definitely her.
He knows. It was me.
Anyway. But by the way, this wonderful new shirt that I'm wearing, unfortunately, is not mine. Not our design.
Someone else's shirt.
Well,
where did you wake up this morning?
It's no. Wait, would you let me explain? Yeah. It's not one of our designs. It is.
It wasn't one of my shirts.
Well, it's not one of my designs. That's what I meant. Not one of my designs. This was a gift from my loving aunt down in Florida. She sent this up to me, and because she knows about the whole Cryptid podcast and everything, so she can see it's prominently displayed on the show today. But speaking of shirts and stuff like that. While Michelle's looking up something else, check the description below and click the link for our merch page. The merch page helps keep the lights on here in the cave, so that way we can keep doing what we're doing. We got t-shirts, we got mugs, we got sweatshirts, all cool stuff. We got a new design up there, Cryptid Creatures playing cards, which is the thumbnail for this particular episode. If you're able to, grab one. Worth it. Hopefully we'll get ours soon. Evidently they have a little bit of a backlog, and it's going to take a little while for us to get our stuff. Both me and Jasper are still waiting on our sweatshirts. So
I want to give Cryptid props to Thunderbird.
Thunderbird was cool.
I want to give Cryptid props to the what was that one that you made a little stuffy of?
Oh, the onomatopoeia. What was that thing called?
The Malo Loke thingy.
Yeah,
Every time you said it, I said, "God bless you."
Cryptid, bird, multi-color, Achialabopa.
Bless you.
Achialabopa. Yeah, he was awesome. I told you that my kitten peed on him, so I have to start over.
Yeah, you had to start over, make a new one.
Yeah, that jerk. Yeah, you. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So did Diz tell us their favorite cryptid?
I did not see the Bigfoot mating call picture that you sent me, brother. I did not see it yet.
Bigfoot mating call. I've probably been sent that via text by someone, to be honest.
Listen, I'm sure we've all been sent something. I know we've all been sent worse pictures.
I mean, a good Bigfoot mating text is perfectly acceptable.
I'm sure it sounds a lot like Chewbacca.
Yeah, I can. Oh, what's the swamp ghoul? I've never heard of this one.
Never heard of it.
Swamp ghoul. I have to find the cryptid page. No, there's nothing. Anyway, so are you done talking about your guy?
I am done talking about my guy. Let's see. Okay, so the picture that he sent me has a question on it.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, why do Bigfoot hunters try to lure Bigfoot out with mating calls? Do they have a plan for when a super horny Sasquatch comes barrel-assing out of the woods with a raging boner? I'm pretty much thinking I'm dead. Because I'm thinking that thing's gonna tear me in half.
Like little cows.
What was that, Jasper? I didn't hear you, Jasper. What'd you say?
I said it's going to turn out like the cows, because the last time we talked about Bigfoot, Miss Michelle down here told us about how in some cases he's known to sodomize cows.
Yeah, bulls.
Bulls. He sodomizes bulls in Texas. It's true. I read it on the internet.
They establish dominance.
I've heard that before about prison too. Find the biggest guy.
Fuck him in the ass. Sorry. What?
What did? It's funny because it's true.
It's funny
Um,
'cause it's true.
So I would like to do a question to my other co-hosts.
Go ahead.
Besides this podcast, besides us, because we're new. What is one that you're listening to? What is one of your go-tos? Like, we all know that my favorite is Graveyard Tales, with close second is going to be Don't Go Out There horror movie podcast.
Mhm.
And third is Theories of the Third Kind, Aaron and Dan.
Okay.
What are yours? What are you listening to?
Hang on, I'll tell you right now.
While he's looking those up, I will have to admit that I've never actually watched a podcast or listened to one.
Do you listen? I mean, do you have the podcast app on your phone?
No.
They are available on YouTube. I will send you links.
I listen to podcasts all the time. Like,
Yeah,
I am a
it's
podcast junkie.
constant. It's constant in my ear.
I'm also like, just a crazy person when it comes to certain things. But lately, I've been listening to Roanoke Tales.
Oh, Roanoke Tales is awesome.
I'm loving his approach towards cryptid creatures and different, events in history and things like that. His take on the Beast of Javadon is just amazing.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Roanoke Tales, or Roanoke Gaming, go check him out. He's an actual scientist. He actually puts thought and research into how things work out. I mean, you should see some of his analysis of movies.
Watch his review or his discussion of the Valley of the Headless Men.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet. I'm almost there.
On point.
I'm almost there. Literally, I'm almost there. Keep going. Anyway, but anyway.
Oh, hey! 3 weeks ago, he did an episode on the Ohio Frogman.
He did. So Jasper, you should enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else am I listening to lately? Not a cryptid podcast, but a podcast on Tolkien.
Okay.
It's called Nerd of the Rings.
That sounds right.
Sounds interesting.
Very, very much nerdy. The Nerd of the Rings podcast, Middle Earth interviews, is so compelling because he just does a great interviewing during the whole thing. His live stream interviews with, cast members, the people who are very closely involved with the Tolkien estate.
Mm-hmm.
Just so amazing. He really has gotten out a lot of information and gotten some really good deep dives into Tolkien's lore. And I really enjoy that. That's another podcast I've been listening to.
I'm so sorry if you can hear the honky in my background. I think one of my neighbors is going crazy or their car alarm's going off.
He's probably going crazy.
There's something to be said for crazy people.
Listen, there's 3 of us right here.
I'm not crazy. I've been tested.
Sure.
How did you get tested? Because I want to get tested.
Well, I mean, I've
Crazy.
been tested
I
for
was crazy once.
ADHD, anxiety, and
With that.
all the things.
We'll be in a rubber room.
I need a rubber room, preferably padded in rubber.
I definitely want a rubber room just because I think it'd be fun to bounce off the walls.
You would.
It depends on the type of rubber, because like tires are only bouncy if you put air in them. So if it's
So,
tire rubber, it's not going to be great.
It depends on the kind of rubber because I'm allergic to latex. So that room, if it were a rubber room made out of latex rubber, that would be bad for me.
Yeah, you're allergic to latex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't have kiwis then.
What?
There's a link between latex allergies and kiwi allergies.
I'm gonna have to look at that one. I don't think I've had any reactions to kiwis, but maybe I haven't. I just don't know it.
Torsten, to answer that question, Torsten asks, if you know you are crazy, are you really crazy? And I can answer that with a simple response.
73.
The Joker.
42.
42. Mm-hmm.
The Joker.
42.
He's criminally sane. He knows exactly what he's doing at all times. He's not insane. He's sane.
So funny story. And because it's 2:52 and we're gonna end soon, but so you know how I like to hang my hat on. I know things. I am a random, like my brain is full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my boss on Friday messaged me and she was looking for some information and she was like, "Hey, do you know this?" I'm like, "Of course I know this." And I gave it to her. And she's like, "And that is why I call you the Michellepedia."
You definitely are a Michellepedia.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with that being said, Michellepedia, you have brought my attention to the time. So we are going to go ahead and round out this episode with our usual goodbyes. Jasper, go for it.
It was lovely sharing my favorite cryptid with all of you. Go ahead and leave a like, sub, and ding dong that bell for notifications.
There you go.
Right on, my sister.
Don't forget to share.
I'm gonna leave with this. It is the beginning of baseball season.
Oh boy, here we go.
This girl loves baseball. But remember,
you like a shitty team.
If you can't, I'm gonna, in the words of one of my favorite movies, Grease 2, if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
I still need to see that.
All right. Well, and for me, yes, it is baseball season, and all I'm going to say is
support the Braves.
If you don't help me now, Jobu, then I say, fuck you, Jobu. I do it myself. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Check out the channel for some more drops this week. Jasper's going to be dropping another video. I believe it's going to be on the Basilisk this week. Yeah. Check out our shorts. They're going to be popping up here and there and everywhere.
Except not my shorts. Okay? I prefer my shorts not be on the internet.
You're not going to be finding my shorts because, let's put it this way, nobody wants my shorts. Anyway.
I am the shorts.
Everybody have a great, wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. And if you can't be good, be bad. And if you're going to be bad, at least be good at it. We'll catch you back here next weekend for another episode of Cryptid Conversations.